Hello, everyone, and welcome to I'ma Say It. And I'm Brandon. I'ma Say It. I heard some rumors this week, and I don't know if they're true or not, but for the sake of sports, I really hope it's not real. I saw a deal where a former player, came out on a podcast and said that the NFL was scripted. And if I find out the NFL is just as fake as the WWE, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but there's so many people out there, myself included, that worked really, really hard and trained our bodies to do things that a lot of people just really can't do. And it's not to take for granted the abilities that we have. Like, me being a former baseball player, like, not only can I hit the ball well, but I can field the ball, I can throw the ball across the diamond, and I know a lot of people that can't do a simple thing like catch a ground ball and throw it across the diamond. I'm not making fun of those people because what I have is special. Like, it's a special gift. And so it needs to be treated like a gift. But if I spend all that time preparing to go into a show, like, I was a theater major in college the first time I went. I'm a business major now. But when I first went to college, I went to school for theater and played baseball, walked on, played baseball. And theater became a job. Like, it was so demanding, and there was so much stuff I had to go through. Um, and it took the fun out of it. There was no more fun left to be had. Um, so I dropped out of theater. Now I love going to shows. I love musicals. Very rarely will I audition, but I would still audition uh, until I was like 20 something, doing live shows. I worked at the Pollard Theater a little bit, doing live shows. Did the Christmas Carol twice, and then I worked stage on a couple musicals. That was really cool. Uh, so, but I don't know, man. I really don't like it. To hear something like that, whether it's real or not, just to have that idea implanted in me. Uh, for the sports world, that just really hurts. So I hope that's not true. I don't think it's true. Uh, I have a screenshot of a predictor that I saw uh, that apparently was a quote unquote leak from the NFL, scripting that the Eagles win the Super Bowl. If that's true, and that really is the final score that comes out, which I've got it marked in my phone. Actually, I think my wife has it in her phone. It's not even in my phone. I think it's in my wife's phone. But I told her to take a screenshot of it, and so if that's the case, man, I'm gonna be done with the NFL. There's been a lot of things going on, and especially in the basketball world, there's been a lot of things going on, and I can't wait to talk about this basketball. I'm gonna jump into this thing right away. Uh, I am gonna compare Kevin Durant to Aaron Rodgers. I love talking about Kevin Durant. One of the reasons I love talking about Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant doesn't like the media. He doesn't like the media, talking to the media. He's not a fan of the media. He has burner accounts. He has uh, all kinds of issues with the media. So Kevin Durant signs a 4-year deal up in Brooklyn and made it through a year and a half of it. Uh, or maybe the 5-year deal. He's got 4 years left or whatever. And I don't know whose fault it is. Maybe it's the maybe it's the player's fault. Maybe it's the owner's fault. Maybe it's the league's fault itself. But these players keep holding these teams ransom and forget about their God-given ability. And I think Kevin Durant held the Brooklyn Nets ransom. And I looked up all the crazy trades that went on, right? Kyrie to Dallas. You got Westbrook to Utah. You've got KD to the Suns. And if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm not letting go of KD. And I don't think they got bad deals in the trade. Uh, I like Dinwiddie. I also like Finney Smith, and I like well, plus they've got Patty Mills and Sexton, or not Sexton, yeah, Sexton. They've got some people on their squad that, man, I mean, you can win some games with. I mean, these guys, uh, they're gonna have to play team ball. They're not gonna, there's no true elite great on that team anymore. Uh, I mean, you can say what you want, but I like Ben Simmons. Don't get it twisted. I think Ben Simmons. Uh, I think Ben Simmons is a little childish. I think Ben Simmons is more diva than ball player. Uh, but the dude can still ball out. I know he's got some demons, and he hasn't quite shaken Philly off of him yet. But he has had some spurts. He's coming around. Uh, but if I'm Brooklyn, I'm holding KD to the fire. I'm not letting him go. Uh, you want to lose every game, fine, but you're gonna lose every game in a Brooklyn Nets uniform. I'm not letting Kevin Durant go. Now, here's where it gets crazy, because I know play's gotten better, but are you really scared of the East? I mean, truly, honestly, like that, and that's why I think LeBron James, like, dude, you played in the East, like when nobody was in the East, like everybody was in the West. Everybody was in the West. You had Kobe, you had Curry, you had Russ, you had Kevin, you had CP3. Kawhi was down in San Antonio, right? I mean, you didn't really figure you don't really figure the East. There's nobody really there. I mean, now you got to get through Milwaukee. I mean, you got to go through Antetokounmpo. You got to go through Philly. With Harden and Embiid. You got to go through Boston with Jason Tatum. Uh, and Boston's had a good squad. I mean, they were Golden State's been ridiculous for a while, man. I mean, as long as you got the Splash Brothers, you got a chance. Um, Problem is with them is staying healthy. But Kevin Durant signed a deal, got the players around him that he wanted around him, and it didn't work. And the thing is with that is, man, when you have Kyrie, right, you got James Harden, you got you, and you guys are supposed to be this big three. Well, who's the leader of that group? It falls on you, Kevin. Whether you wanted to or not, it falls on you. So you're going to the Suns, and you ain't got to worry about leadership. The Suns are stacked in the West. Uh, DB, CP3, KD. I mean, that's enough said right there. Chris Paul's your point guard. Devin Booker is your young and up and comer. He's gonna fade a lot of the heat, and Kevin Durant's just gonna go out there and do what he does. And Kevin Durant's gonna have a really good time. And while Kevin Durant is celebrating another championship with another made team, uh, because I mean it's not like the Phoenix Suns went out in the first round last year. It's not like the Phoenix Suns weren't good. So Kevin Durant just makes them that much better. But Kevin Durant, like, I don't even know where to begin with him. Like, he's a Texas guy. I'm supposed to like him, and part of me does. But all this drama, man, stupid fights with the media. Like, you better than that. I At one point in time, we looked at this guy and was like, man, that's the greatest player in the world. I know I did. Like, especially Kevin Durant at Golden State. Oh man. Now I didn't like that he left the Thunder. I didn't like that he left the Thunder at all. Um, I'm gonna be real. I'm a Lakers fan, but I live in Oklahoma, so as long as the Lakers aren't playing Oklahoma City, I'll root for Oklahoma City. Uh, I didn't want to see the Big Three leave. I didn't want to see Russ, Harden, or Durant leave, and I thought keeping Thabo Sefolosha in the starting lineup was dumb. Like there was no reason Harden should have been my sixth man. I got a point guard, a shooting guard who can play the point, and I got KD. And then he gets a rematch with LeBron, and he's got Steph and Clay. I mean, yeah, LeBron beat him. Kevin Durant beat him. I think it's astonishing what LeBron James has done. Even with getting the scoring title and beating Kareem's record. Like, I never thought I'd ever see that beat. Here LeBron James comes and he beats it. And it's just one more thing for y'all to add to your repertoire saying, oh, he's the greatest, but he's really not. Um, I don't see him taking Kobe one-on-one. I don't. I don't see him taking Kobe one-on-one. I don't see him taking Jordan one-on-one. I see him getting beat. I see him getting beat because Kobe, I don't trust LeBron deep. Kobe's going to run down the lane. He'll back out on you, get on that corner, and he'll splash it on you from that corner. He'll run to that corner and splash it on you. That dude is, nah, that guy was terrific. So, Lakers got rid of Russ. I can't believe they got rid of Russ. Uh, I wanted to see Russ retire as a Laker. Just being a Lakers fan and being a Russ fan. I like Russ. A lot of people give Russ shit, and I thought Utah Jazz going to get him was good. I don't know why. Uh, I don't know why you wouldn't work with him, or why LeBron James and AD couldn't work with him. I look at that a little differently than most people because when I look at LeBron James and AD, I see two guys uh, that can't stay healthy. Now LeBron hasn't had he's had more issues as of late, as opposed to like when he was younger. Obviously, like he stayed pretty. LeBron James has stayed healthy his whole career. Okay, as a whole. But if you look at the last 2 years, he spent some time out due to injury, and it was just a matter of time. And but he did get the record. So disappointed in Kevin Durant. So disappointed in Kevin Durant. Like, man, that dude was destined for greatness. Like, a 7-foot dude that could shoot outside. Like, this was back when we were still playing position basketball. We still had 1 through 5. Like, you really don't have that. You got Joel Embiid shooting down deep. You got guys like Al Horford shooting from deep. Like, you didn't see that in position basketball. You didn't see that when you played the 1 through 5. Like, you didn't have to worry about Shaq shooting from deep. You didn't want Shaq shooting from anywhere. I didn't like Shaq's shot. I didn't want Shaq shooting from anywhere other than the paint. Like, you need to be dunking on everybody. Who's going to stop you? And it's not like 4 guys are coming up, grabbing him by the arms. He's still jumping up, and it's not like he's got to reach very high. All he do is hold his arm up and jump just a little bit. So it doesn't matter how many guys you got on you, you're still putting it in the rim. Shaq was a big dude. Shaq took a beating down there, and we just I don't see that so much anymore. You know, I mean, hell, even Antetokounmpo's taking threes. Actually, I don't know. He was uh in the year Kawhi won it, and that's not necessarily a shot you want to see him shoot. You want to see him drive to the lane. Obviously defenses are getting better at playing defense, and you know, I say that, but obviously I've never seen such high scoring games like since we have gone to this transition. Like I'm watching game almost every game now is over 100 points. Like you almost have to score 130 a night to win, and it's great. I love it. I love seeing it. I hope guys. I hope before I die, I see guys shooting it like at 70% behind the arc. Like I hope I see that in my lifetime. Like where guys are just machines. And it's gonna come down to who can get a stop. LA got D'Angelo Russell. Uh, which I'm gonna be honest with you, when they took D Russell over Jahlil Okafor, I was like, what? What are you doing? Dude turned out to be a pretty good ball player, and when's the last time you heard of Jahlil Okafor? Besides NBA 2K 2000 whatever. So D'Angelo Russell going with LeBron James and AD. AD's got to stay healthy. They're just under 500, so it's not like the Lakers can't turn it around. Obviously there was some bad blood between Russ and LeBron and AD. So obviously you really needed to get rid of Russ. You're not going to get rid of LeBron. You're not going to get rid of Anthony Davis. Those two guys are probably going to retire Lakers. Um, well, I don't know about LeBron. LeBron's probably going to go try to play Bronny somewhere, and then wherever Bronny goes, LeBron will go. But uh, I have a feeling that the Lakers are going to try to get Bronny so he can play with his dad. But uh, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there. So, but the Suns really should run away with this. Um, and I feel bad for the Brooklyn Nets because the the fans uh, are the ones that really deserve the titles. It's not the players. The players earned the championships, and they're the biggest reason for the championship. And I'm not saying the players don't go out and earn it; they do. But when I say it's the fans, man, it's the fans in the seats that allow you to have a paycheck. So fans stop going, you stop seeing money, you stop getting paychecks. So I mean, really, you're going out there and you're putting on a show for the fans. Man, Brooklyn's gonna be the fans are gonna be sitting there watching Kevin Durant hold up another MVP, going, "We had him. What the fuck happened? We had him, and we let him go." And I would have held him to the fire. I'd have held him to his contract. Hey man, you signed. You said this. This is your signature. Lucy versus Zimmer. You have a contract, sir. So, who's really to blame there? Like, so I've been having some discussions in business, and I think this falls on the owners. I think it falls on the owners and GMs, on people like Aaron Rodgers and Kevin Durant holding leagues hostage, holding teams hostage. Uh, Not necessarily the league, but teams. These players, Lamar Jackson. Uh, and don't get it twisted, man. I want to see these guys get paid. I'm not hating on anybody for getting a payday. So this has nothing to do with the money side of it. This has to do with the contract, just the contract side of it. Like I'm paying money to go watch the Phoenix Suns. I'm paying money to go see Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker. That's what I'm paying my money to go see. If I'm paying money to go see the Lakers play, okay, me as a fan, I'm going just to see my Lakers play. I don't care who's on the team. They're my Lakers, my Astros, my Red Sox, uh, the Cowboys. You know, these are the teams I root for. It doesn't matter who's playing. Uh, but if you're playing a bum, like, well, let's say for instance the Dallas Cowboys right now. Okay, they just cut Cooper Rush. I don't know if they cut him. I think they just cut him. I didn't fact check. They might have traded him. I don't know. I think they just cut him. And why? Why did he not even get a chance in the playoffs? Like what? Your quarterback threw 2 interceptions. All right, buddy. You got one drive. You got one drive to show me that you belong here. See what happens. I'm not saying that he takes Dak's spot. I'm not saying that Cooper Rush is the better quarterback. I'm saying I saw more consistency in Cooper Rush than I saw in Dak. I didn't have an up and down, up and down, up and down. Even when he threw all those interceptions against Philly, he still had it close. They had a chance to come and win this game. Um, the Eagles were just that much better, and they pulled away. So why the NFC Championship could have been Cowboys Eagles is because of coaching, and then they got rid of Kellen Moore. Okay, was Kellen Moore the issue? I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying Kellen Moore wasn't an issue. I don't see inside like that, so I don't get to know. But as one offensive play caller looking at another offensive play caller, I'm thinking he's a lot more aggressive than what I've seen. So if you're going to replace him, you need to replace him with somebody good. And obviously, I don't want to move backwards from Dak. But if I can't go win a Super Bowl with Dak, what's the point of having him on my team? See what I'm saying? Like the whole reason that I'm giving you all this money is not just so you'll go win and go 12-5 in the season. I don't give a fuck if you go 12-5 in the season. That's nice. A lot of times that'll get you number 1 seed. Not every time. A lot of times, 12-5, you're fighting for number 1 seed. The NFL's getting tougher. The NBA's getting tougher. Phoenix Suns should run away with the NBA right now. If anybody won, Phoenix won. If there's a clear-cut winner and who won on this trade deal, Phoenix Suns. They got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul. Chris Paul is not a selfish guy at all. He doesn't need the ball. Chris Paul can go 10, 12, and 5. I don't know what his rebounds are. But Chris Paul will get some rebounds. He's not going to get you a lot. He'll get you some. The 12 assists is what he cares about. He doesn't give a fuck about the 10 points that he got. Shit. 12 points, he's like, shit, I'm good for at least 24. At least. Just in that right there. Just in that alone. At the minimum is 24 points. That's going to help you win games. Devin Booker, shooting guard. He can drive on you. He can shoot from deep. He can do a little bit of everything. Kevin Durant is an animal. And you still got other players playing with him. It's not like, oh, Ayton, Cameron Payne, and then everybody they got it on their bench. They got a pretty good bench. I mean, you got to realize Jay Crowder's going. He's not going to be starting. Not at the 4. Unless you're moving KD to the 3. Either way, somebody else is moving down. I mean, you could play him at the 3 or the 4. It don't matter. Because here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna go play LeBron, and that's the matchup. All right. Kevin Durant will probably switch back and forth between guarding LeBron, guarding AD. You got Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, so now you got Luka's gonna play the 4. Dallas still didn't have a bad squad, and I think that Mark Cuban Kyrie deal, I think that's gonna be good for Kyrie. If ever there was a man that can help your career bounce back, that is the guy. And he's a smart business owner. Like Mark Cuban is so business savvy. Like that dude, he's so smart. Like Kyrie's not gonna hold him hostage. You're not gonna have a hostage situation with Kyrie and Mark Cuban. Dallas is a cool city to be in. Kyrie will have a good time being in Dallas. I love Dallas. I love hanging out down there. I got a mall down there that's freaking huge that I used to go down to and go ice skating and shit. And it was cool. It's always a good time down there, man. So Kyrie's gonna have a good time down there. Russ with the Jazz isn't bad. You still got Markkinen, Olynyk, THT, Rudy Gay. Russ is gonna be fine up there in Utah. And I wouldn't be surprised if Utah with Russ. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if they played team basketball and didn't start kicking ass. Uh, it wouldn't surprise me to see Russ having triple doubles again. I think the turnovers. Uh, Russ is gonna fill the doors. Russ is gonna fill the seats because people want to come see Russ. Russ is a one man act himself. You're gonna get a lot out of Russ, just money wise, business wise. Um, and from what I've seen of Russ, I really don't like how LA did him. Um, I don't think Russ was the issue. I think the turnovers were definitely an issue. I don't think Russ is the issue. I don't think he was the issue in LA. I think the problems in LA are bigger than Russ. No, the turnovers definitely didn't contribute to. They definitely contributed to losses. They didn't. I mean, you show me the turnover column, I'll show you who won the game. Um, 9 times out of 10, that's just the way it works. You turn over the ball less, you win the game. And so Russ is definitely he's been a turnover machine. But I think a lot of that is just culture and atmosphere too. Um, if you don't feel good, a lot of times you don't play good. And if you feel like the team doesn't have your back and you don't trust your teammates and everything else, you're not going to go far. You got to have trust in one another. You got to have trust. You got to have uh, chemistry. And if you guys aren't gelling and it's not working, um, obviously Russ he was the scapegoat, and everybody saw it. If you didn't see it, then you weren't looking. Uh, Russ is available, and he hustles. Uh, Man, I'll take that in a player any day. You show me hustle and drive, and I'll turn you into something. We can work on the mechanics. I can work on mechanics. I can't work on heart. Either you got it or you don't. Either you want to be a champion or you don't. And a lot of people tell you, hey, I want to be a champion. I want to be a winner. I want to hang out with winners. Then when it comes down to it, and push comes to shove, and it's time to show up, man, where are you? You know, why are you hiding? You can't. It can't be that way. Um, like this coaching thing, it's a lot of adjustments. Uh, it's weird not being a player. It's weird not gearing up and putting the cleats on. It's weird. It's weird. Uh, there's no other way to say it. I'm not used to being a coach. It's weird. It's an adjustment. But you know what? It's funny looking at the players and seeing what they're doing and knowing that, hey, I used to do that too. And if you just repeat back, like it's all about repeating back what you heard, if that makes any sense. Uh, coaching's a little more than that, but it's a lot more than that. But what I'm saying is, I learned how to adjust as a player, and now I'm learning how to adjust as a coach, and it can be done. Anybody can do it if they have the heart, if they have the drive, But you can't teach the heart and the drive. You can only teach the physical side of it, which is the I can teach you how to throw a ball. But if you don't have the patience and the heart and the drive to go out there and learn to do it at the best of your ability, then what are you doing it for? Why am I teaching you? Why am I wasting my time on you? If this isn't where you want to be, why are you here? It's about making an adjustment. It's about making life adjustments. You know, it translates in the streets on the out in the real world. I didn't like what I was doing for a living. I hang iron for a living. That's what I do for a living. I hang iron, and I like hanging iron. It's a lot of fun. It's less fun now because I'm not learning as much. I've already learned the majority of what my job is. Now, there are some things that I need to learn in order to be in the upper echelon of what's next. But that's not where I want to be. I don't want to be in construction the rest of my life. I want to be in sports the rest of my life. Um, that's why I started doing the podcast. I made an adjustment. You know, in order to go do this at a high level, I've got to go to school. Well, I started school. I'm on the honor roll. I'm doing it at a high level. That's drive. You don't just get that by sitting around and going la, 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 la. No, you got to have heart. You got to have drive. You got to move with purpose. And so it's about making adjustments. And what the Nets, they did not look like they moved with purpose. Um, the Lakers should turn this around. The Suns are going to be tough to beat. We as fans, we want the best out of our team, but these owners, what are they doing? Like, I really think it's the owner's fault that we've gotten to this point. Um, if I'm paying money to go see Kevin Durant, I want to see Kevin Durant. But as a sports fan, I don't care if Kevin Durant's there. I don't care if LeBron James is there. I went and saw uh, the University of Tulsa play basketball last year live, like in their arena, and they won on a buzzer beater, and it was the coolest ending. Um, their season wasn't very good. They weren't very good. They had one player that was pretty good. I think he will make it to the next level. Um, he stood that much out better. He just stood out that much more than everybody there. Uh, he had heart. He wanted to win. He didn't want to lose. He definitely didn't want to lose his last home game. And he brought him back and he won and he had some big shots that led him to that victory and it was well deserved. And I looked over at my buddy right before he hit the buzzer beater, and I said, "Man, the only thing you do is get it in this dude's hands and hope it goes in." And he hit it from half court. Uh, it was amazing to watch. I could teach him how to shoot. I can't teach him how to want to go out there and get it. If you're not in the lab working on yourself and getting better, I can't help you. Nobody can really help you if you're not doing it for yourself. If you're not trying to get better, nobody can do it for you. That comes to where you lie and where your heart is. But I talk about the Super Bowl coming up. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a really good example. What I like about Jalen Hurts is he not only. So, a lot of people right now are talking about is Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma or is he from Alabama? I have been very clear about where I feel like he's from. He's from Alabama. I feel like he's Nick Saban's kid. Uh, I don't care about him winning the Heisman at Oklahoma and getting drafted from Oklahoma. He didn't win a national championship here. He didn't he's not from here. Like the kid is not from Oklahoma. It was just a stop on his way from point A to point B. He was a visitor. He's a good visitor. But when he got to Oklahoma, he said, "I'm here. This is a stop for me. I'm going to take command of the locker room." And he squatted 500 pounds in order to take command of the locker room. He took command of the locker room. Nobody asked him to. He's like, I'm going to be the quarterback of your team. I'm going to take command of this locker room. I want you guys to trust me. Here's how I'm going to do it. And he did it. That was championship drive. The only problem is he played for Oklahoma. And they're like marijuana. They get smoked in a bowl. When you got a bunch of guys, like I want to see a bunch of guys that have the heart of Jalen Hurts. I don't need the talent of Jalen Hurts. I need the heart of Jalen Hurts. If you've got heart, I can make you a player. One of the things about coaching the team I'm coaching, you know, every player on that team plays with their heart. They all leave it out on the field. They all get mad at themselves. They're all yelling and screaming and cussing at themselves. But when it comes to being a teammate, they all sit there. They root for their teammates. They sit there and they have love for one another and they root each other on. And that's what it's about. It's about coming together because we can fix the little shit. We can. We can fix the little shit. But if you don't have drive, you don't have the desire to want to be there, you don't have the desire to win, you're not good for me, you're not good for you, you're not good for anybody at that point. And at that point you gotta work on you. And that's what you know, we see it a lot with these professional players with this melodramatic shit. We don't want to see you as the diva. We want to see you as the ball player. I just want to see good basketball. I want to see good baseball. I want to see good football. I just want to see a good game. You know, you want people ask me, well, why do you watch the NBA? Why do you watch the NFL? How come you don't watch college as much? Well, the play's not as good. What do you mean? These guys literally are getting paid to do this. They're the best in their craft, right? Like think about it. If you got the number one pick, right, and you go pick the number one guy, you're saying, okay, you're better than all the players that are coming out of your class, and I think that you're better than most of mine. Like I think that you're gonna replace somebody and you're gonna be a starter on this role. That's why we're paying you the big bucks. Because if you're in the top 10 in the draft pick, like you're getting paid pretty good money. You're getting paid more than if you're anywhere else. Um, and plus you got league minimum and everything else. Rookie deal, so many years, this amount of money. That's good money. You know, it's enough to go buy you a good car, a good house. You know what I mean? Nice down payment, at least. You know what I mean? Plus endorsement deals and everything else. So, yeah, I expect you to be a lot better at your craft. I don't want to see a game with 35 turnovers. I don't even want to see a game with a turnover. I like it when the offense doesn't turn the ball over at all. I like seeing errors in baseball. If you're getting paid $500 million, I shouldn't see you drop a ball. I shouldn't see you bobble a ball. But it's human. I get it. We're all human. Human error. But no, man, I can still go take a ground ball. I know I can still go take a ground ball because I've done it. I've done it recently. I'm a little slower than what I used to be. My eyes don't adjust like they used to. My reflexes aren't as quick. But if I had time and got paid to sit there all day long and take ground balls, because here's the deal. Baseball was never a job for me. It never became hard work. Practice was tough. Like, practice was always tough. Like, if you didn't go home sweaty, you didn't practice. If you didn't go home wore out, you didn't play. I don't know what you did. Maybe you ran, got a little sweaty, and then you just quit running and lollygagged the rest of the time. I don't know what you did. I wasn't paying attention to you. I went home sweaty. It didn't matter if it was 30 degrees outside or if it was 100 degrees outside. I was sweating. And always wearing sleeves. Wanted to make sure my shoulders stayed warm. I go out there You'd have to get Coach Treble would literally kick me off the baseball field. Hey man, we gotta go. Some of us got things to do tonight. Oh, all right. We'll be back here tomorrow. Well, I don't know, Coach. I'm gonna play. I mean, it was. I mean, that was it. That was it. You had to kick me off the field. If you paid me now, man, it would not take me long to get back in shape, and I would gladly do it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Had a good time. A lot of players forget why they play the game, man. When I coach, these players, these players that I'm coaching, these players all love the game. They're all doing it for the love of the game. They all want to be there. When we get done, and they're like, "Damn, that's it. It's over with." And I'm like, "Damn, that's it. It's over with." And the coach is like, "I'm tired." I'm like, "Dang, coach." I never want the game to end. It's one thing I loved about baseball, man. There was no time limit. I mean, when you were younger, there was like I think you had to play like an hour and a half and whatever. Uh, and we'd have good pitchers, and we'd get into some defensive battles sometimes, and uh, get guys on, but they're not scoring, and guys really playing and keeping runners on, and sometimes you get in the fifth inning, and all of a sudden it's an hour and a half, and they're calling the game. You know what I mean? And so it happens. Um, most usually when teams are going at it, and you don't have a run limit, that's usually when you hit your hour. When one team scores a whole bunch, or both teams are scoring a whole bunch. It makes for a long game. Makes for me it was exciting. Like I didn't like it when another team scored. And if you hit the ball in my direction, uh, you weren't getting on. So I knew I was gonna keep you from scoring. I can't attest for the other eight guys on the field. It's not an individual. Baseball is not about individual stats. Football is not about individual stats. Basketball is never about individual stats. But yet we reward them. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we shouldn't reward them. We should definitely reward them. To go out there and perform at a high level and perform at a higher level than everybody else. Um, but you're being a teammate first. That's what it's about. I don't care if I'm on LeBron's team and he's scoring 40 points. As long as whenever he's guarded, he gives a chance to give up the rock and let somebody else take over and try to score. As long as he's being a good teammate and making good decisions, I don't give a shit how many points he puts up. I'm not trying to put up the number one points. I'm trying to keep them from scoring and help my team put up the most points. I don't care if I've got to do it or I've got to give an assist or I've just got to pass the ball. These fucking stats don't matter to me. W's, wins. That's what it's all about. It's all about wins. Speaking of winning, we got the biggest, in my opinion, it's the biggest sporting event of the year. The only thing that I look forward more to the Super Bowl is maybe the Masters. I love watching golf. I love golf. Uh, I like Jordan Spieth. He's one of my favorite golfers right now. Ricky Fowler, Masayama, uh, Siwoo Kim, some guys, Sanjay M. We got some guys that some good golfers. So, but we got the Super Bowl coming up. Eagles, Chiefs. I'm excited, man. I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I've also picked them to win. That is my pick. Uh, and it's not that I don't think Patrick Mahomes can't win. He definitely got further along in the playoffs this year than I had anticipated him to. I really just think the Eagles are better defensively than the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is going to come down to defense. Um, to be honest with you, I don't think either one of the defenses are that great. Um, okay, we're not talking about the Bullies of Baltimore here. We're not talking about the 85 Bears. We're talking about the 2000 22-23 Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. And both players, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, could make plays outside of the pocket. You've got two offensive lines that are pretty good, that protect their quarterback. You got two teams that have pretty good run games. Uh, Even with Edwards-Helaire out, that running game with Kansas City has still been pretty good. The receiving core. Uh, Here's the thing in the NFL: if you put the ball on a receiver, uh, they should catch it. These guys, this is what they do for a living. So I like Valdez-Scantling. I like Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't see them not showing up. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Two very dynamic receivers. Two very good receivers. Miles Sanders in the backfield. Dallas Goedert, Travis Kelce, two good tight ends. Obviously, I'm taking Travis Kelce over Dallas Goedert, but Dallas Goedert is a really good tight end, guys. I'm excited to see Kelce against Kelce. That's going to be a really cool matchup. But I think the Eagles' defense is just Darius Slay, man. That dude is bad, man. That dude is number 2, Deuce. That dude he's cool with it. I like Darius Slay Jr. Uh, I really that whole Eagles defense is just very well rounded, man, all the way around on the offense, defense, and special teams. Coach Nick Sirianni and Andy Reid, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I see it being a really high scoring game, guys. I do. Over 50. If over under, I saw it was at 50. I'm definitely taking the over. I think that I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to end up being like 41-38, something close like that. Um, I think you're going to have to score 40 something points to win. These guys have been doing it all year at a high level, and the thing really, what the Kansas City Chiefs are going to have to really do in order to beat Jalen Hurts is they're going to have to make Jalen Hurts be a quarterback. You're going to have to take Jalen Hurts' legs away from him. You're going to have to keep him in the pocket, and you're going to have to make him beat you with his arm. And with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Quez Watkins, I'm not sure that Jalen Hurts is a good enough quarterback to beat you with his arm. So you're definitely going to have to make him do it, and it's not that he can't do it. Same with Patrick Mahomes. I think the deal is with Patrick Mahomes, you start from the outside in, you break the pocket down on him, and keep a spy on him. That way he can't run up the middle on you. Because if you let him get outside the pocket, he's dangerous on both sides. The run game, both teams can be ran on. It's been shown that both teams can be run on. Both teams can be thrown on. Kansas City gives up a little bit more than the Eagles as far as points allowed, but they it's gonna be real close. It's gonna come down to turnovers. It's gonna come down to defensive stops. Who can get a stop? And if Jalen Hurts if he can get uh if he can keep a clean game, or Patrick Mahomes can keep a clean game, then hopefully both of them. I want to see no turnovers in this. I don't see this being a very high turnover game. I think it's going to come down to who gets a turnover, and who gets a turnover in the fourth quarter. Um, Really is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to who has the ball, and who makes the most plays. Obviously, is how football always works. But the if Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts both goes out and throws a clean game and doesn't have any turnovers, um, then it's going to come down to the defense, just making plays. Who can prevent who can get the most 3 and outs. And it's going to be really hard to get 3 and outs on either one of these teams. Like I said, they're both teams have really good weapons. This is going to be a really good Super Bowl, I think. two young guys. Jalen Hurts is pretty young. Patrick Mahomes is pretty young. So Patrick Mahomes has been there. The Jalen Hurts has won at every level that he's been at so far. He's got a chance to win at this one. So I don't see Jalen Hurts giving up. I don't see the Eagles being as gritty as they are and down and dirty as they are. Um, I mean, here's the thing: the Eagles, the fans, threw snowballs at Santa. Like they threw snowballs at Santa. What do you like? That toughness. If you're tough enough to throw snowballs at Santas, man, you got to be tough to play in Philly. And for the Philadelphia guys to just love Jalen Hurts the way that he has, and for them to get as much love as they do, Philly's a tough place to be in. Anywhere in the Northeast is really tough, really, actually. I'm from Vegas originally. Well, I'm from California originally. I grew up in Vegas, but uh, so I mean, I'm not saying that Vegas isn't tough. Vegas is tough, uh, but it's not as tough as Boston or Philly. I promise you. Those two places that I've been, they're rough and tough. I like New York. Uh, I'm not saying New Yorkers aren't tough. My grandma's from the Bronx. She was a pretty tough old woman, but I enjoyed my time in New York, even though I was a tourist. And that's one thing I hate about being in Vegas. You know, you get a lot of touristy people, and tourists want to look at everything. They don't want to drive, and I'm like, I got to get from point A to point B. Uh, but in New York, everybody walks or takes the cab, so it was. Even though I wasn't from there, and I'd be like, "Hey, take me here," they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I still had a good time. People in New York were really cool. I had a really good time in Boston. Had a good time in Philly, but Boston and Philly was definitely a rougher, tougher crowd. But it was cool. It was good. I love being up there in the Northeast. Uh, I've been to Kansas City. I actually used to work for a company out of Kansas City. Uh, that was in the construction field, doing roofs, and traveled all over the country with them. Uh, which is actually how I got to go to Philly to even begin with. And so yeah, it's pretty cool deal. I'm excited for this matchup. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Uh, we're gonna get in this crazy time of year where we got the draft coming up and all these trades and deadlines and who's going where and what's gonna happen, and so I can't wait. I'll be keeping up with the news and who's getting traded. I know Mayhar is gone from the Cowboys. Thank God, we ain't got to worry about him no more. Kellen Moore ain't got to worry about him no more. Just got to get rid of. I don't understand why Dan Quinn's not the head coach and Mike McCarthy's not gone. Like, if you're gonna fire Kellen Moore, fire Mike McCarthy too. But that's neither here nor there. I can't wait to get into it. Speaking of getting into it, I'ma say it pod. We are everywhere, guys. We are on Facebook. We are on TikTok, Instagram. We are on Twitter. I'ma say it pod at gmail.com. You can actually email me directly there. I get those emails. Uh, and so hit me up. Let me know. Talk to me. What do y'all? Let's talk about football for a minute. Let's talk about basketball for a minute. We can even talk baseball. I love baseball, man. Especially like 90s, 2000s, like 2005 to 92. For me, baseball was like that was like the best. Uh, shit, I could tell you so much baseball back then. Um, but I know some things. Justin Verlander got traded, and some other people in baseball have moved, and uh, I'm excited for baseball season coming up. So we'll be talking a lot of baseball and talking a lot of baseball here in just a few months. Catchers and pitchers are already down in Arizona getting ready. It is here, folks. I'm so excited. Uh, Women's tackle football, Women's Football Alliance, we're in full swing. Uh, we're fixing to put the pads on and everything. I'm excited about it. My wife just got her helmet in. She's excited about it. We're excited to be playing. We're excited to hear from y'all, and we're excited to keep this thing going. Really, I am. This has been a blessing. Just being able to talk sports and get some things off my chest. Uh, but not only that, it's just been fun hearing the things on seeing the things on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram from fans and followers. Um, it's cool. It's a blessing. It's something that I'm proud to be a part of. And thank y'all for listening. Hit me up. I'm gonna say a pod at gmail.com. Man, leave me your comments. Let's talk some sports. I'm looking for somebody who for a full time position to go with me head to head, talking about some of the greatest things going on in today's sports, so we can debate, talk about it, and kind of shed some light on sports. One of the things that I love about sports is competition, and debate is competition, and so it kind of goes with sports, I think. So hit me up, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what we can do to make this thing better. But more importantly, let's keep sports sports and keep it real. Y'all have a great day and peace out.